The first step is to cut out the Flyers logo, which is then going to be used as a template for your pumpkin. Notice how only the center hole and the outline is cut out. The next step is to cut a hole in the top of your pumpkin so that you can scoop out the insides. Remember that you need to make the hole big enough that you can get your hand and the scooper that you're using in there to clear it out. It's always better to start small because then you could always make it bigger. But if you make it too big at first, you're gonna have to get a whole new pumpkin. Once you have the top cut off, you may throw it in the trash as you will not need it again. Now it's time to start scooping. As you can see, my first hole was a little too thin and I couldn't get any of the insides of the pumpkin out. Luckily, this is a quick fix because I just went back with the knife and did another hole that was just wider using the same process as before. The next step is to hold the template up to the pumpkin and trace around the outside and then also trace the middle circle. You only need to get a rough outline of the template because you will be cutting away all the black marks that you make. The final part of the template process is to connect the bottom of the symbol with the middle of the circle, as shown in the video. The best way to do this is just to freehand a semi-straight line. Now you're finally ready to start cutting. The key to cutting in is to keep the knife tip almost parallel to the pumpkin, and all you're really doing is scraping off the top layer. My cuts only ended up being about the tip of your fingernail deep. Remember to take your time and work around the whole outline of the pumpkin, and then leave the center circle for the next step. Now it's time to cut out the center hole of the pumpkin. This can be done the same way that you cut out the top. I found it easiest that once I cut around the edge of the circle, I made an X through the middle of the circle in order to make the pieces fall out when they got stuck. Once the hole is cut out, I found that it was nice just to shave a little around the edge of the hole just to get it the same color of orange as the rest of your outline. Now it's time to cut the connection from the hole to the outline. You just simply follow the black line that you drew originally with the template the same way that you did the whole way around the outside. Now you need to mark and cut out the three lines which go from the edge of the pumpkin towards the middle. The scissor and the marker laid next to the template shows you approximately where you should draw those lines on the pumpkin. Once I knew the relative placement of the lines, I just free-handed them onto the pumpkin and then cut them out. And now you're ready to enjoy your Flyers pumpkin.